Hey guys, this is Nate and this is the Nader Tater channel. Today I'm going to talk about the Blink Sync Module 2. So this is the new one that just came out, and this allows local storage of your video, so meaning they can store it on a flash drive on here. There's no subscription to it, and this works with the Blink Indoor Gen 2 camera, the Blink Outdoor camera, and then the Blink Mini cameras on there. The older cameras, the XT, the XT2, and the Indoor Gen 1, they still work with this, but they just don't do the local storage. So it still only does the cloud storage. But I pre-ordered this. I just got it in, so I'm going to open it up, unbox it, and I'll show you how I set it up. I do have a little USB flash drive that I'll use, and I'll try out the recording as well for you. So stay tuned and watch how I do it. Alright, so in the box, there's not a whole lot. You get the little Blink module itself. You get AC adapter and looks like a fairly short USB. It's a micro USB, so it's USB A to micro. Looks like it's maybe 3 feet long, so not very long, which would be a little bit annoying, but you could always get a longer cable if you needed it. So for instructions, it doesn't give you a lot. In fact, it just gives you a QR code to scan, but it's because you use the app. So now let me open up the app, the Blink app, and then I will show you how to add things to it. So, all right, so here's the app. So now let me go in here, and it doesn't matter if you already have a like a mini system. So the mini cameras don't need the sync module. The other cameras need a sync module just to work at all, and so it's all because of the processing to talk to the Blink servers to actually save and record the files. So you can still add the Blink Mini to the sync module, and it will still work with it. So let me just click the top one, which is the Blink Wireless. I will do my QR code. So it's going to add it to my existing system here. Oh, kind of a dummy. I got to plug it in, obviously, to get any power. Alright, so I'm an amateur hour here because they actually have a little protective cover that prevents you from, and it's hard to see. I was like, why is it not plugging in? So it has a clear strip around it that you got to take off. But alright, so plug that in, and for this guy, since I'm close to my computer, I'm just going to use my computer for power because I'm sure it can handle it. Alright, so now it's saying obviously wait for that steady green light. So we'll give it a second here to kick up and connect. Alright, it took about 30 seconds for it to do that, but so now I'll click Discover Device. So now what it's trying to do is it's trying to have the phone find the Wi-Fi from this Blink Sync module, and then the phone will connect to that Wi-Fi so then it can talk. So there, it finds it eventually. So now it's connecting. Alright, so now you tell it what your Wi-Fi is at your house that you want to use. Now it does have to be 2.4 gigahertz, which is a little bit annoying. That's really getting pretty outdated nowadays. Now there are several generations past that with the 5 gigahertz, and then now the Wi-Fi 6, but that's all it can support is 2.4, and I think that's what the cameras do as well. So now it's updating the firmware for me. Like I said, I pre-ordered this device, so I'm one of the first people to get it in. Obviously there's others that pre-ordered it as well, but I kind of figured it would need a firmware update. All these places always send things out as soon as they're ready, and then they follow up with the latest firmware or software when you get it. Alright, so while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and open up my USB flash drive. Now this is a USB 3.0, or actually 3.1 flash drive, but I actually read into it, and this Blink Sync module, it actually only supports USB 2.0, but all these devices are backwards compatible, and obviously it doesn't need the faster speed of a 3.0 to actually save your files. So that's what I have. All right, so now I have my sync module set up, and let me plug my camera back in just so it's on. Okay, so now I can go in here, and this is telling me the sync module, you know, obviously has the Wi-Fi system, and then, you know, it tells you right here as far as what does it do. And so it can manage all your cameras, and you can kind of locally adjust all the settings of those cameras, like, you know, arming the system, disarming it, that kind of stuff. But obviously I need my local storage, so you can obviously have a bigger, the old school thumb drive that's longer. I opted for the little, I don't know what they call it, but it's the little small thumb drive, and this was like 20 bucks for 128 gigabyte drive. They sell a Blink branded one that's like 64 gigs, and you know, it's funny because on the box it actually tells you, actually right here, it can support up to 64 gigabytes. So when I got this box, I was kind of worried, but I reconfirmed online in their documentation that it can support up to 256 gigabyte drive, and I opted for the 128. It was 20 bucks. I think the 64 was like 15 bucks. So for $5 extra, I have 128. So tons of storage. So here we go. It just popped up on the app that USB storage was inserted. So I have it as clip backup. If you have that clip backup off, then it obviously won't do that backup. So what's interesting about this is, I guess it's interesting, but it's also bad in some ways, in that it doesn't save onto the USB drive right away. What it does is actually still using your Wi-Fi and your internet to send the recordings back to the cloud, and then it shows you right here on the screen every day, once a day, it will then back up the storage from the cloud server to this USB drive. So you know, really what this USB is, it truly is a backup. It's not a duplicate. It's not like RAID. And so what they tell you is, if you delete the files from, like, say, your app, and it's deleting them from the cloud server, it does not delete them from the USB, and vice versa. So if I delete files from the USB flash drive, it does not delete them from the server. So I thought that was interesting, and obviously there's some good to it, but at least from what I've read so far, you can't do, which is probably what I'm sure a lot of people would like, is you can't have a Wi-Fi system set up without internet in it and it will work. So meaning it will not work. You have to have the internet still, because the recording still goes to the cloud first, and then it comes down to the USB drive. So for 128 gigs, I mean that's I'm sure weeks and weeks of high def storage for these cameras, because, you know, obviously depending on how often they're using it. If they have constant motion, then yes, not weeks, but 128 is certainly plenty of storage for me. I'll have to play with it and see how many days that gets me with normal usage. Right now I only have 2 Blink cameras. You can put up to 10 cameras on a sync module. That's the same for the old Sync 1 module as well. But so I just have 2 right now. All right, so a couple other facts about this little module is, it looks like right now there is no way to access the files on the USB flash drive, like from the app or something. All the ones you see in the app are on the cloud server. So to access them, you have to go in the app and you have to hit you know, safely eject, and then once it says that you can safely eject it, you pull it out and you can go to your computer and plug it in, and that's how you access them. So it's not a real convenient way, I guess, meaning that you can't be like away from home and somehow, access this directly. So that's one downside to it, I suppose. So as far as the subscription goes, the old Blink ones had like free basic cloud service or cloud recording of your cameras. And I bought this after that. I think that was April of 2020. If you bought your first Blink system before that, then you would get that free basic right now indefinitely. But I bought it after that, and so I get grandfathered into having the free cloud recording until February 18th of 2021, and then after that it goes away. Now for that, I think it gives me like 7,200 seconds of storage, and that's per sync module and for all of your combined Blink mini cameras. So I still have that right now, and I'm about to lose it, so that's kind of why I bought this, was to get ready for that. What's not clear to me is, obviously if I don't have a subscription service, from the way this works, it still gets saved to the cloud and then it gets updated here every day. So I'm assuming that means any data that I record in a day without a subscription gets stored down here, and you still have the hassle of that, it's not visible here in your app. But I guess I'll find out. I will not pay for a subscription, and I'll see what it does. If it doesn't do well, then I might have to look into buying a subscription or selling my cameras, whichever one I end up with. So like I said, I have the Ring cameras as well, and obviously they have a bundle deal where I pay for their subscription and it covers all of my cameras. So it's kind of silly for me to pay for multiple subscriptions when I can just get all Ring or all Blink and just have one plan. So, but I'm testing out Blink to see how I like it. The local storage is one of the big things that actually sold me on it. So I'm going to test it out. If I like it, I might expand these, because I've got some of these cameras, these minis are really cheap. I got them as low as $5 a piece, brand new. So anyways, that's all there is to it for setting it up. It's pretty simple here. And now what I'll do is I'll let it run, and then maybe I'll make another video to show you guys how it's working out over several days or a week here, and let you see how it performs. So feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, and then you'll get notified when I get new videos out.